Every great conversation begins between two thoughts.
Okay, so last night was bad.
Bad how?
I couldn't sleep. And not because I was sick or anything like that. My brain just... it wouldn't stop. Like it was having a whole conversation without me.
About anything specific or just everything?
Everything. Nothing. Did I say something weird at work last Tuesday? Should I have taken that other job 2 years ago? What if I make the wrong call tomorrow and it all... I don't know. Falls apart somehow.
Round and round.
Round and round. Like a washing machine that just never stops spinning. I actually said that out loud at like 2 a.m. and then felt slightly insane for talking to myself about laundry.
No, that's actually a really honest description. Most people call it overthinking. But I think what you said is closer to what it actually feels like.
Is that what it is, though? Just overthinking? It feels bigger than that word somehow.
It is bigger. That's the thing. Overthinking sounds almost harmless, like you're just thinking a bit too much. But what's really happening is, okay, it's different. Normal thinking. It moves. It goes somewhere. You have a problem, you think about it, you land somewhere, and you move on. Overthinking just, it circles, goes nowhere, arrives at nothing.
Thinking that lost its direction.
Yeah, exactly that actually.
Okay, that makes me feel slightly less like something is broken in me.
Nothing is broken. And this is gonna sound strange maybe, but something like 73% of adults between 25 and 35 deal with this regularly. Which means, right now while we're sitting here, there are millions of people lying awake somewhere replaying conversations from 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Yes, exactly 3 years ago in my case.
It has two main forms, actually. The first one is rumination. That's the past stuff, replaying things, going back over what happened, what you said, what you should have done differently.
And the second?
Worry, which is the opposite direction. Fast forwarding into everything that could go wrong. Building these whole scenarios. Worst case situations that feel completely real even though they haven't happened.
So rumination is living in the past, and worry is living somewhere in the future that doesn't exist yet. Which means, wait, overthinking is just never being here.
Yeah, that's it. That's genuinely it. And the painful part is, the present moment is the only place anything can actually be done. The only place you have any real power. And overthinking pulls you out of it constantly.
That's almost poetic. And a little devastating.
A little bit of both, yeah.
Okay, but why does it happen? Like the brain isn't just doing this to be annoying, right?
No. And this is the part I find genuinely fascinating. The brain overthinks because it thinks it's helping. It's trying to protect you.
Protect me. By keeping me awake, catastrophizing about emails.
Think about it from way back. Thousands of years ago, the humans who thought carefully about threats, who anticipated danger, who ran through worst-case scenarios. Those were the ones who survived. The brain learned that thinking deeply about problems keeps you safe.
But we're not running from lions anymore.
We're not. But the brain, it doesn't always know the difference between a lion and an unanswered message from your manager. It treats both with the same level of, okay, this needs immediate attention.
So my brain genuinely thinks my work email is a predator.
Essentially. And once that alarm goes off, it's very hard to switch down. Especially, and this is interesting, especially if you're someone with high emotional intelligence or a creative mind.
Wait, overthinkers are more emotionally intelligent? That feels like something I want to be true, but I'm suspicious of it.
It is true, though. People who overthink tend to be highly empathetic, deeply self-aware, imaginative. The same qualities that make someone sensitive and creative. Those exact same qualities make the mind more active and harder to quiet at night.
A gift and a curse living in the same brain.
Always together, yeah. The mind that notices everything, feels everything. That mind doesn't just switch off because you got into bed.
Okay, so we understand what it is. We understand why it happens. But how do you actually stop it? Because knowing all this doesn't make the 2 a.m. washing machine stop spinning.
Right. And this is where, look, most advice completely fails people here. They say just stop thinking about it.
Which is completely useless.
Completely useless. That's like telling someone who's drowning to just be less wet. You can't fight the mind directly with the mind. You need something different.
So what actually works?
The first thing, it comes from something called acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT. And the technique is called cognitive defusion, which sounds very clinical, but the idea is simple. You create distance between yourself and your thoughts.
Distance how?
So instead of thinking, I'm going to fail at this, you say to yourself, I notice I'm having the thought that I'm going to fail. You step back, you observe the thought. You don't become it.
Oh, that's subtle, but it's actually quite powerful, isn't it? You're not arguing with the thought, you're just watching it.
Like watching a cloud move across the sky. You see it, you acknowledge it, but you don't climb inside it.
You don't climb inside it. I love that image.
The thought loses its grip because you stopped identifying with it completely. It's still there, but it's over there, not inside you.
Okay, what else?
Something simpler. A worry window.
That sounds like a feature on a phone that I definitely need.
Maybe it should be. So the idea, you designate a specific time each day, maybe 15 or 20 minutes, where you are fully allowed to worry. Completely. Write it all down, think it through, feel all of it.
And outside that window?
When a worry shows up, and it will, you just say, not now. I'll think about you at 6 p.m. You postpone it deliberately. And this surprised me when I first read it. The brain actually accepts this. Studies show it significantly reduces overall anxiety levels.
Because you're not pushing the thought away, you're just scheduling it.
Exactly. Suppression makes things worse. What you resist tends to persist. But giving the thought a time and a place, it calms down. It knows it has somewhere to go.
That's genuinely clever. What else?
Grounding. And this one is about pulling yourself back into right now using your physical senses. The most well-known version is called 5-4-3-2-1. When your mind starts spiraling, you stop, and you name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can physically touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste.
Okay, right now. 5 things I can see. The rain on the window, the steam from my cup, the lamp, the table, your slightly concerned face.
My concerned face, sure.
And, oh, I'm here. I'm actually just here. Something shifted just then.
Because your nervous system responded to physical reality. You interrupted the loop with something real and present. The brain can't fully be in 2 places at once, and you just dragged it back to this one.
The body is always in the present, even when the mind isn't.
Always. The body stays here. That's why movement helps. Deep breathing. Even just holding something warm.
So this coffee is doing actual therapeutic work right now.
I'm going to say yes and not look into it further.
What about when the overthinking is about a real decision, though? Not just anxiety, but something you actually have to decide, and your brain keeps going back and forth and back and forth, and it won't land anywhere.
Decision fatigue, overthinking, different animal. And the key there is setting a hard deadline for the decision. There's this researcher, psychologist, named Barry Schwartz. His book, The Paradox of Choice, shows that more thinking time and more options don't lead to better decisions. They lead to more regret.
Wait, more thinking leads to more regret. That feels backwards.
Counterintuitive, right? But people who spend longer deliberating end up less satisfied with their choice, even when it was objectively the right one. Because the mind keeps wondering, what if I'd gone the other way?
So the overthinking poisons the outcome even when the outcome was good.
Poisons is exactly the right word. So, you set a deadline. By Thursday I decide, and you commit to it. Decisions made with intention and a time limit they sit better. The mind closes the loop and can move on.
Psychologically cleaner.
Psychologically cleaner, yes.
Okay. Last one?
Self-compassion. And I think, honestly, this might be the most important of all of them. There's a researcher called Kristen Neff at the University of Texas. She spent decades on this, and what she found is that people who overthink chronically are almost always extremely hard on themselves at the same time.
The thoughts aren't just spinning, they're judging while they spin.
Always. Why did I do that? I'm so stupid. I always mess things up. What's wrong with me? And here's the thing, that inner critic makes the overthinking worse. Because now you're not just worried about the original thing, you're also ashamed of the fact that you're worried about it.
The worry about the worry.
Meta-worry. And self-compassion breaks that second layer. When you can say, this is hard. A lot of people feel this. I'm doing my best. The nervous system begins to settle. Not immediately, but it begins.
Being your own friend instead of your own prosecutor.
Neff actually asks people, how would you speak to a close friend going through exactly what you're going through right now? And almost everyone, they're so much kinder to the imaginary friend than to themselves.
Why do you think that is?
We've been taught that being hard on yourself means you care. That self-criticism drives improvement. But the research goes the other way completely. Self-compassion produces more resilience, more motivation, better outcomes than self-criticism ever does.
Being kind to yourself isn't soft. It's just smarter.
Scientifically.
Yeah. I came to this coffee feeling like my brain was some kind of faulty machine. And now I feel like I actually understand it a bit. Like someone handed me a map I didn't know existed.
That's all any of us need sometimes. Not a cure, just a map.
Cognitive defusion, the worry window, grounding with the senses, decision deadlines, self-compassion. 5 things, real ones.
And none of them ask you to fight your mind. They all work with it. Because your mind isn't your enemy. It's just trying to help in a very clumsy, exhausting 2 a.m. kind of way.
A very clumsy 2 a.m. kind of way. That's the most relatable thing you've ever said.
I have my moments.
Tonight when it starts again, and it probably will, I'm going to look at the rain, name 5 things I can see, make something warm, and tell myself, you're okay. You're figuring it out.
That's all of it right there.
And if you're someone whose brain doesn't really stop, try just one of these tonight. Not all 5, just one. See how it sits.
The fact that you think deeply means you feel deeply. That's not a flaw. That's something worth understanding and being just a little gentler with.
Between thoughts, that's where we live, isn't it? In the quiet space between one thought and the next.
That's where the peace is.
Thank you for spending this time with us today.
If this helped even a little, share it with someone whose mind never really stops. They might need this today.
And before you go, our question for you.
When you overthink, do you go to the past or the future? Are you a ruminator or a worrier?
Tell us in the comments. We genuinely want to know.
Until next time.
Stay curious, stay kind, and keep thinking, just not too much.